Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Abby. So for today's video are the Bureau of Customs guidelines for arriving travelers into the Philippines on how much goods you can really bring into the Philippines. I went through their website and they actually have a guide over there on how much goods you can bring to the Philippines. Details coming up. So this video is going to be in two parts because this is going to be quite long. There's specific goods or items that you can bring to the Philippines with specific quantity. Now, before you react, because some of the quantities that they put in there for a specific item is not followed. So some of you might have brought more than the quantities and you were fine. And some of you might have experienced who brought in less than the quantity and got caught. So I am basing this video from the Bureau of Customs website. But like I said, this may not be implemented accordingly to what they have posted on their website, but it's a good guidelines for you to follow, or you can get a ballpark on how many items you can really bring into the Philippines. So it says on their website, if you want a hassle-free purchase from abroad. I know most Pinoys buy pasalubong for their family in the Philippines. Even our foreign friends would like to bring some goods to their loved ones into the Philippines. You may buy and bring these items into the Philippines without clearance from the Food and Drug Administration or FDA, only if they are number one for personal use. So we have been saying this in every update, specifically when we do e-travel update, that if the items that you are bringing in into the Philippines are more of personal use, this doesn't need to be declared, doesn't need to have any clearance and stuff. The second one is within the allowed quantities. So the Bureau of Customs actually have a list of items, specific items with specific allowed quantities that you can bring to the Philippines. The very first one is child care articles. The allowed quantities is 5 kilos. Just have you guys converted in pounds if you want it converted in pounds. But for child care articles, these are milk, water, baby food, diapers, the whole 9 yards that you need for a baby. And if you are traveling with a toddler, you are actually allowed to bring personal bag, the diaper bag, and your carry-on. That's really up to you if you still can manage bringing all those 3 bags with a toddler. But for child care, that's 5 kilos. That's a lot already for 5 kilos. I don't think it's gonna weigh that much. Just bring those items for your child needed for that specific flight. The rest you can actually put on your check-in bags. But just to be clear, this allowed quantities that they have specifically said on their website is for check-in bag, because there's a different rule when it comes to carry-on bag. Carry-on bag, you can only bring 7 kilos. Next is toys. 10 pieces. So you can bring 10 pieces of toys from abroad going to the Philippines. I know you guys will do pasalubong on your nephews, nieces, or maybe your kids. Perfume. This is one of those items that's being brought to the Philippines constantly as gifts for friends and relatives. Bed Bath and Beyond, Victoria's Secret and stuff. So for this item, according to the Bureau of Customs website, you're allowed to bring 5 bottles. I'm wondering, because for international flights, you're allowed to bring 2 luggage, 23 kilos each. I wonder if this is per luggage, per passenger, because I am guilty of this item. I have probably brought in several Victoria's Secret perfumes to the Philippines, and I went beyond this allowed quantity. If this is the allowed quantity, I have probably brought in 15, 20 bottles in one trip. Granted, I split them up between luggage, but it went through just fine. And for sure, you have the same experience, that if the allowed quantity is only 5 bottles, we're kind of screwed on this deal. But yes, please comment below if you have tried bringing in more than 5 bottles of perfume to the Philippines. They did not really state the weight limit of the particular perfume. It just said 5 bottles. So if you're bringing this type of item into the Philippines, here's your allowed quantity. Next is lipsticks. So this falls under the cosmetics category. You can bring 10 pieces. So, and then again, I'm not sure if this is per luggage, per person, per traveler, especially if you are traveling as a family. If you're traveling as a family of 5, you are actually allowed 10 check-in bags for international flights. So you can pretty much bring a bunch of this cosmetics to the Philippines as pasalubong. But if you are one of those who are traveling alone and have brought in this specific item into the Philippines, the lipstick, how much have you brought in and got through just fine, and it's beyond the allowed quantity? So I'm not really sure, because I know this allowed quantities that's stated on their website is not followed. I can tell you that because based on my personal experience traveling internationally, I have brought in more than the allowed quantities that's stated on their website. My husband is the same thing when he was traveling before from the States to the Philippines, with the list of items that I need him brought in into the Philippines. So I don't really know how they catch it. Maybe if it's really beyond, like beyond the allowed quantity, to the point that it's for commercial quantities already. So that's one thing. But like I said, this is a good guidelines for arriving travelers into the Philippines, bringing goods within the allowed quantity. That way it doesn't get confiscated, it doesn't get taken out of your bag because it's not allowed. So like I said, this is in two-part videos. That way we can really discuss on what's allowed and what's not, what's allowed within the quantities, personal use, and stuff like that. Please keep an eye on the part 2 of this video, because we still have more to discuss on this specific items. But let's go ahead and include shampoo, lotion, and a bar of soap. You can bring 2 kilos each. So 2 kilos of lotion, 2 kilos of bar of soap, and 2 kilos of shampoo. Because I know some of our kababayans, they do bring that to the Philippines as pasalubong. So 2 kilos are the allowed quantity for this specific items. Like I said, just follow and make sure to distribute them properly on your luggage, especially when you are bringing liquids into the Philippines. Wrap them up properly so it doesn't have any spill on your luggage and they get to the Philippines intact. But like I said, this is in two-part video. Please keep an eye on the second part for the remaining items that you can bring in into the Philippines with the allowed quantity from the Bureau of Customs website source, if you need any guidelines for it.